in between. This is RGR Football. We have a win to talk about. Dan Harms is with me. I hope that you guys are ready for us. We're going to get into the fallout, stats, etc. Who played well, who didn't. Answer a bunch of your questions because this is about you tonight. This is the Monday Night Q&A. Dan's got the new style chat going on, and I'm going to throw this at you guys. Let's see what it looks like just to see. As new ones come in, we'll see if it can overlay like it's supposed to. We're trying out some new stuff tonight, you guys, so bear with us. And bada boom,
nice.
This is how we will see it. This will make things a little bit easier, but I will tell you this. If you super chat, you want to support the channel, we very much appreciate it. I'll still have a list over here of what's going on, and I will try to shout you guys out. Without the overlay, oh, there it is. Okay, so it's still going to work.
Oh,
so,
nice.
We're trying some new toys tonight. Bear with us, you guys. I'm going to go back here, and then that way I'll be able to still, I think, highlight the questions, and that's what's going to come down to. Row your boat, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you. What's the one positive thing the defense can build on from yesterday's game? In my opinion, would be forcing field goals in the red zone versus touchdowns. Dan, talk to me.
So I don't disagree with that, but I've been watching the game over again. And honestly, I think Spaxx was doing a decent job of trying to get his guys into good positions. Unfortunately, the athletes on the field don't necessarily allow you to do that. I think that on first watch, realize that I'm much more of a fan on first watch, and I can't see everything that I want to see when I'm going through it yet, and that's going to take some time still. But I've adapted now. I try to watch the broadcast like the next day, so I'm not behind with my mind. Mm-hmm. And I have noticed quite a few defensive adjustments in the first quarter alone, and that's what I'm taking away from this right now. And I think that that's going to bode well going forward, specifically with a team like we talked about yesterday, that the Bills don't have this advanced amount of formations that they're going to run at you. They're going to run 11 personnel, and they're just going to try and throw the ball all over you. So I think that that's something I can take away, that, yes, I think Spags is working on a lot of different things.
I'm glad to hear it. I have not brought myself to rewatch the broadcast. If I get a chance, I will, folks. So that you know, I am heading down to Paradise tomorrow night. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to get on a plane with the wife. We have a big thing for us. So I'm not going to get a chance to do the all 22. That's why Dan's in charge of the film, as always. So enjoy that. Zach, thank you for your super chat. We appreciate the support. And I saw that you sent one earlier, and I do want to say thank you for that. I can't put it on the screen. I'm still learning this one, and we might go back and forth, folks. We'll figure out what works best, and honestly, I'll need your input. So on rewatch especially, would you folks leave your comments down below whether you like this new style with this other system? But he did say that in his previous super chat, thank you again, Zach, that he enjoyed the Vast video, and that's awesome. He really explained the defense, right? And so
that's exactly what we're trying. We're going to definitely have him back on too, because that little snippet doesn't even graze the surface of the amount of information that man has.
It's crazy. Cole, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that, the blatant amount of delay, but hey, you know what? For 66, I guess I'll just have to deal with it, right?
They didn't want the Lions to win a game. I get it.
Yeah, it happens. Folks, thank you. If you do want to support us, the Super Chat's the easiest way to do it, or you can buy some of the gear in the RGR store. I'll have something up on the screen here later when I figure out how to do that on this one. And Dalton, you're not the first person to ask this, in my opinion. I want to get Dan's opinion. Do you think Mahomes looks a step slower?
No, I think that Jeff Allen put it perfectly. He's always a step ahead of the guys chasing him. Like, that just seems to be what he does. He doesn't have like this top gear that he has. He's not a fast guy, but he always seems to just be a hair faster than the guy chasing him.
Fair enough. I like that. S. Burke, that is part of the question in terms of athletic linebackers in particular. That's what you're seeing him miss. That's what he likes. He has used that over the years in St. Louis and in New York. Getting back the big four front guys, that's what he has. And at least they're building mass there, and that's what he likes as well. This is still a defense under construction. I will put it that way.
I'm wondering if he's getting the players that he wants, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm not sure. There's a little bit of a discrepancy in taking Willie Gay last year and then taking Nick Bolton this year. There's a clear discrepancy in the type of players that is. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering who decided that it was going to be who's picked. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little interesting because you can see the athletic deficiencies at linebacker. You can see them with Anthony Hitchens. You can see them with Ben Neiman. You can see them with Nick Bolton. And for some reason, they have decided to draft Nick Bolton. And that's going to be we're going to have to see how that works out. But I mean,
yeah, I go back to what we heard about Beach before, these drafting a year ahead of time get the replacement for Hitch, because you're absolutely right. Right now, folks, they're playing with 3 middle linebackers is what they're doing. They don't have a Will because Willie's hurt.
Yeah.
And they didn't keep another Will. They could have kept Cobb, who has the speed to play the Will. DOD, I saw somebody ask about that. I think it was you, Josh. 2 snaps. I mean, that's basically all Spaxx will use him for now, as a spy. And two snaps is not any encouragement that he's going to get more playing time. I'll tell you that. But he is the other guy that had the speed initially, but clearly hasn't been trusted with the defense. So I don't think that that's going to change. Ian asked about a brutally honest take on Sorensen. Like, I didn't feel like we pulled our punches usually. But...
I don't pull my punches. You guys know how I feel about Dan Sorensen. I don't think he should be playing.
Yeah. In my opinion, he should be the 3rd safety. Point blank. When
I would
you
play
have to put
Watts
somebody in the box.
and Thornhill over him. I would.
Would you?
I would.
Okay. Thornhill went up to 31 snaps this week.
Yes,
folks.
he did.
It was a high of 70, right? Or was it 74 was the longest? Yeah, total 74 snaps.
Yeah.
So he didn't even get half the snaps, but he played more than he had played before. I think that will continue. Hopefully he's digging himself out of the doghouse. Mr. Big Chief Sean, 1 out of 10. How much do you think we need improvement?
Specifically, we all know we're talking about defense, because the offense is, dog, it is firing. The defense is about a 9, and most of that is players. Just point blank, it's players, and they just don't have them.
Yeah,
I think that they could run this defense with a legitimate linebacker crew. I think you could run this defense. I think it'd be just fine.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the edge right now in terms of overall effect on the defense. I'd put it about a 6 or a 7. I'm not quite that point, but hey, you know,
I'm here to overreact, guys. Just let you know.
That's what Dan's for, folks. And I'll tell you what else is for is Big Chief Sean, the creator of this question. I hope you guys caught it. We had some kind of problem. I didn't get the video to get it fixed and up on the site in time for the game yesterday. So I put it up today. I want you guys to see Sean. We're going to get that figured out as we go through the season, and you'll see more of Sean on game day. That's his thing. And if you don't know Sean, Big Chief Sean right here, you can see it. That's what you want to go search on YouTube to go get over to his channel. And if I have time while Dan's talking here, I'll grab a link and put it in the chat as well. But thank you, Sean. As always, I'm glad this is working out so far. I know it's a little hit and miss, but we're getting there. Oregon Fishing is still salty about Ward not being here. Don't be. He's not any better than Okafor. I'll tell you that right now. I was about to say,
right now, he's not. Was he even playing in New York?
I don't believe so.
So
Okafor had 5 pressures yesterday, folks. He and Mike Dana trailed Chris Jones, who had 7. Those were your top 3 pressure guys.
But by the way, that was something else I've been seeing on the rewatches. Oh man, they were getting pressures.
Yeah,
and
that's what it comes down to. Yes, Mike finished them, and more power to him, because he's not that get off guy. He's the guy that works through the rep, and I'm glad to see him reap the benefits of it. What are your thoughts on the future of this season beyond with the defense? I think they'll rectify themselves this season. Are they going to be a top 10 unit? Doesn't look like it yet, unless they get Frank and Willie back and Ward, and everybody starts doing their job. Beyond that, I don't know. What do you think, Dan?
I don't know. I don't think they're going to be a top 10 defense this season. If they can get into 15, then they'll win a Super Bowl, in my personal opinion. But it really depends on how they draft and how they bring players in. I don't think Frank Clark's going to be here next year. I don't think Anthony Hitchens is going to be here next year.
Yep.
Like, there are going to be some fallers in this defense, and they're going to have to find ways to replace them. And right now, if you tell me that Anthony Hitchens is gone, they bring a less experienced player who's also not an athlete in. The linebacker crew doesn't look any better, even with Willie Gay. Like, you have to find ways to replace players, but upgrade your athleticism at the linebacker position. They have to, or they're going to continue to be bad against the run and bad against running backs and tight ends, like they continuously are.
I will say this, though. I do have high hopes for Bolton growing into the Hitch role. Like, he will improve through the season, I feel. And if he is paired with Willie and they get another athletic linebacker to be the other third,
they need one.
They need to have 2 guys that can play a Will, in my opinion, to play the base successfully. Yes. So that's what it comes down to. Thank you, dude. If you had to guess on Clyde's season stats, what do you think? I personally will be disappointed with anything less than 1,000 yards, meaning Anning is giving up on the run.
I don't think you're going to see less than 1,000 yards out of Clyde.
I hope not.
Especially if they continue to run this way, because you saw yesterday, as much as they ran the ball, they were throwing it all over the yard still. Like they were still just.
It helps.
That's the thing. You can do everything. And the way the offense moves, it matriculates down the field. You're still going to have those pass plays, but you're also going to force defenses to play the run when they don't have to.
I said it this way on radio here in Buffalo today. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is Tyreek Hill's best friend right now.
Yes.
Because the better that Clyde runs, the more opportunities Tyreek will have to be deep with less coverage all over.
And you watched it. You watched it come down.
Absolutely.
The wire.
I think he'll still hit the 1,000 is my guess. Michael, I took a look at them stats-wise. Really interesting. Last week, they were split right down the middle, Singletary and Moss. And together, they were about a 5-yard per carry average. Their offensive line is better than Philly's. So I think they are something to be wary of. But again, it's much like the Mahomes scenario. They run a lot of 11, like Dan said yesterday, and they use it to set up Allen. So if you take it away, I think it'll have a positive effect.
I'd be willing to bet that Spaxx doesn't even focus on it.
Yeah, you're probably absolutely right. I'm going to be throwing things at whatever tiki bar I'm in the islands. So take this one. And Brendan, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate the support. It's definitely different. I wish I could highlight it better, but hey, I'm going to work on that. Kristen says that Mahomes has looked slower this season because of the toe injury. He thinks that what's causing Pat to throw dumb interceptions is caused by pressure he can't escape. Dan, take it.
Oh, my good Lord. I don't know if you guys have watched Patrick Mahomes this year, but he's still avoiding pressure at an all-time high. When he gets pressure, he's able to do all this stuff. He's still an athlete. He ran for a couple first downs again yesterday. He's doing that every single week. Like, I think that people use and say this kind of stuff to make something to talk about, because with Patrick Mahomes, it's just greatness. Like, the interception was bad. Just say he threw into triple coverage because Travis Kelce is the go-to guy on third down. That's what it is. It's not something that you have to make up because of a toe injury that he's clearly fully healed from. So this nonsense about him being slower because of a toe injury that you can tell by the way that he's able to step into his throws and he's able to move around the pocket and still get out of the way of the pressure. It's just stupid.
And he's cutting on that foot. He's planning that toe and make cuts. It has nothing to do with it. He's just, if you guys missed my video from last Friday, I know it kind of got buried because nobody's watching on Fridays, evidently. Folks, watch on Fridays, will you please?
Please.
I made the whole video about decision making. Mahomes he's changed because he can't go deep all the time, though he wants to. Now his instincts are still telling him to do that, and he's making decisions based on what he wants, not what he sees. And that's got to come along. I think he did a much better job this last weekend.
Yeah, and then, like I said, the one time, like I told you guys yesterday, on that third down, I turned to my wife. He's going to look to Travis Kelce. You have to go somewhere else. Where does he go? Triple covered Travis Kelce. Like, that was it. That was it. Go
Thank
somewhere
you,
else.
Brendan. Gary, I can understand the concept there because Chris doesn't look like I expected him to look, like I thought he was going after the first 2 weeks. But here's the thing. There's nobody else that you can put on the edge that can be successful. So until they do, you have a better chance of getting somewhat pressure from Colin Saunders or from Turk Wharton in there than putting Chris in there and having no one at the edge.
Also, this game is not where you want to take away from him not being good at defensive end. 7 pressures. Jalen Hurts escapes. He's a great athlete, guys. If that was somebody else, he's probably getting some sacks. He's getting some sacks in that game. And I think that he was a little bit better, not only with the pass rush. I mean, he wasn't winning. Like we've seen him win at defensive tackle against Andre Dillard, but he was causing havoc and he was forcing off, Hurts off of his spot. So I think he looked better yesterday. If they had a healthy Frank Clark and somebody that you could start like Mike Dana more often, but you still have to, there's just no defensive ends. If Frank Clark's healthy and playing to some reasonable level, then you might be able to get Chris Jones at more defensive tackle spots. He was rushing more from defensive tackle yesterday, but like he's the only guy, like you said, like they have him. That's it.
Yeah, I agree. How do you feel about Hughes? Thank you, Phil. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. This is awesome. Hughes he got put on Devontae Smith yesterday quite a lot. That's going to make him look pretty bad. And I can tell you, just being close in the vicinity of Devontae Smith when he's running a route and you're single up on him is a win. It's a win because he's that good of a route running wide receiver. He's going to create natural separation by the way he manipulates. And when you're in one-on-one situations, it's hard to read him because he is so good. So I think that Hughes is getting more comfortable on the outside. And the way that Spags likes to play his corners, basically you're on an island sometimes, much like Andy Reid with his tackles. It doesn't always make him look the best, but I think that he's adapting. He's not, like I said, he's not a lockdown guy. None of these guys that the Chiefs have are lockdown corners outside of Snead. I think that Snead is the best guy that they have in that area. So he's doing okay. I think he's hanging in there. I think Baker's actually playing well too. So they're getting their confidence and their feet under them.
Yeah. And if Warden Fenton returns, they're going to be in good shape.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of that. Guys, I see a lot of trade questions. I'm not really going to address those because it's all a rumor. There's no way that the Buffalo Bills give up Josh Allen for anything. So
no, they're talking about Josh Allen from the Jags.
Oh, from the Jags. Yeah. I don't know. He'd probably have to go get a lap dance or something for that to happen. I don't
know. Oh, it sounds like that might be in the works though.
Oh, hold on. Maybe he'll go with his head coach. The coach might be out of there before Josh is, you guys. He's a building block in my opinion. I mean, I can't put anything past that organization, but that would be the biggest mistake that I could think of outside of the quarterback. So
yeah.
I'm going to skip ahead because we're way behind on super chats, of course. This one's even a little harder for me to manage, to tell you the truth, guys. But one question that was in there, we'll circle back to. William, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate that. I want to make sure you were next. Okay, QBR of 82.8. I don't track QBR, so I'm hoping that that's good. That is all. I like that one, so I'm assuming that's a good score. So I'm going to take that. So. Had a question in there before I get to the next super. Man, you guys have some great questions tonight. A lot of trade stuff. I don't think they're going to find any answers in a trade value right now, you guys. It's just my instinct. Dan, do you disagree?
No, this is just what they do. I just don't see them doing it, and they haven't done it in season for a while. So
okay. Daryl, thank you for the support.
Yes,
as always, my friend. Daryl's a member, folks. If you want to be a member, you can go click join underneath Dan over there. And if you do, I need you to do something for me. I think I set this part up correctly. I did. If you become a member and you go starter level, or now we're getting into the rookies, I need you to send me an email at this address, which this one over here, so that I can get you your invite to Discord. Discord is members only. It is for RGR members. Once you're signed up, I need your username and your email, and then I can get you an invite. Now, that's always a lot of fun. So I hope that you guys will do that. Travis Anderson, thank you very much for the support. I'll look for a question or a comment from you before. Sean, not a worry. We're glad you're here, dude. And we'll get the technical part figured out. We're gonna just hit or miss until we get it right. It'll be all good. Kyle, thank you for your support. Appreciate it. Jody, right?
Yes.
Increased playing time. I'm gonna go check his snaps, but I mean, obviously, scoring as much as he is. Does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't surprise me at all. This is exactly why I wanted him to be on the team in the first place. That the Chiefs are using all their tight ends, but the teams in terms of snap counts for all three of them outside of Travis Kelce. And that's exactly what they need to do, because they can spread out teams with the wide receivers. Then they can play big man ball with the tight ends. That's what they should be doing. And I love seeing them use Jody Fortson as an athletic tight end that can make plays. That's just what he is.
I am so old and jaded, because I didn't think this would happen.
No one did, because Andy doesn't do it. But here we are, adapting to the times.
It's the way that it goes. And I did check it, you guys. 15 snaps. Jody had at least 2 blocks that stood out to me that I tweeted about, and then the touchdown. So, I mean, maybe it took the bulking up. He put on a good 20 pounds this last offseason.
He looks great.
He does. And the physical maturation may have been the thing that he needed to get over the hump. So I'm glad that he's here and he's rolling now. I'm just scanning other ones here. 88 flexing, over under on Josh, 2.5 catches against the Bills. Andy said it was a possibility, but he did not guarantee that he would even play and get elevated this week. So I'm going to take the under.
I will too. I don't think he's going to have a snap. And if he does, I'll just be happy.
Fair enough. Let's see. Would you rather see an aggressive 3 and out, or score D, or a blend of don't break? I would way rather be aggressive. What would you do, Dan?
I mean, you always want to have a 3 and out. You want the ball back to Mahomes as fast as possible.
No, but
And
he's saying like it's either 3 and out or you give up a score because you're being overly aggressive, right? Or would you have this bend don't break thing?
oh, okay, I do understand. See, this is usually me doing this to you.
Hey,
So.
I got one right.
You got it. So ideally, I think a bend but don't break it defense is the ideal part because you're going to stay out there. They're not going to score. You can maybe give it 3 points. You give it back to Mahomes, and then he just scores. And if you want to maximize, I think 3 points, then you score touchdowns is how you should do it. But again, like I like being aggressive at times, but I like being bend but don't break. It's for me, it's just a very I don't have a one way or the other about it. I'll just say that.
I'd rather die by fire, attack everything.
Send you love this defense.
Send 6, bro. That's all I'm saying. California Chief, thank you. Glad you're here. Ian, good question. I'm going to put the over. I'm going to take 7.5 over or under, Dan, on Jody Fortson touchdowns.
Yeah, I was going to say under. I was say for me it's 6.
Is it 6? Okay.
That's what I would have it at. I think 6 is what he's going to score.
I'm just going to take the over. I'm going to say it's 8 or more.
I would love it to be 8.
I'm going for it now. Daryl, thank you again. As always,
Daryl.
We appreciate you. We're a little light in here tonight, folks. 350 of us or so. So please spread the word. I thought everybody'd be so excited because there was a win to talk about.
You think so, but
I'm pretty pumped about it. Let's see what else we got in here. Maybe we can stir it up from Gary. Ryan, with Matthews, Hill, Brown getting contracts next year, how do they fix the defense? One, Tyron's going to actually reduce the cap number because of the structure. I am convinced of that. Hill's going to be a struggle. Brown's going to be a struggle. And what it is you're going to see them get younger. You're going to see them go out light in free agency, meaning the third wave of free agents, somebody athletic, somebody like Logan Wilson, somebody like, Blake Martinez, I think is a free agent again. He's going to be a third tier free agent.
Coming off another injury.
Right. But that's what they're going to have to try to do, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think that they're gonna have to take a linebacker early in the draft.
Yeah.
But it's gonna come down to defensive end or linebacker. If you think you can fill linebacker with athletic guys in free agency or maybe UDFAs or later in the draft, you go for it. I think Derek Barnes out of Purdue this last year is a guy I would have loved to have on this defense, to be perfectly honest. And he was like a 6th-round pick. So there's gonna be some options, but again, it's just gonna be a toss-up in terms of what you're gonna get when you go, shopping like that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. What do you think of Niang and Brown from the other day?
Brown had some lockdown snaps. Like he's getting comfortable in this offensive line. Niang is playing pretty well. I think that he's showing up some of the bad snaps that you're seeing. The majority of the really bad ones are coming from him. So a lot of speculation goes to him not being a very good tackle. But he's had a very tough road to start the season. Very tough.
Yeah.
And that's just going to take a lot of getting used to. And it's not the same with Brown because he's been playing in the NFL for a while. And so you're really seeing how tackle is still a very important and very difficult place to play in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's see. If you keep running the ball, how deadly would the offense be if they could utilize some more play action? Play action doesn't actually have to get the handoffs in order to be effective. We've pretty much proven that. Yeah. But if you can gain yardage and reset the sticks by running the ball when you don't have a loaded box, that's the key to being efficient like this. What you saw the other day was nearly a perfect balance, in my opinion. I would have even thrown a couple more times and run a couple times less. I'm okay with 45%, but I think it was great.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Who would be a good pickup for the defense? Daryl asked. Dan, what would you do?
Honestly, at this point, I'm just bringing Olivier Vernon off the street. I'm doing it because you still need some pass rush juice. If you have him being a situational pass rusher, I'm okay with it. I'm good with it.
Yeah, fair enough. I would go out and try to get Chandler Jones for a Frank Clark trade and just hope that both of them can reset. I'd throw in a hamburger. That's about all I would do.
You might need a little bit more than that.
Yeah, probably, but it is what it is. Let's see. John, should I quit watching the game live? Yeah, if you're the reason, bruh. No, I'm kidding. You are not the reason. Watch the game and try to enjoy it. That's the key. Get to that point. Canadian Chief, thank you for your support.
Thank you.
We got Travis, we got Kyle, we got Darrow, we got. Okay, so I am getting caught up. Please give me hope that Buffalo won't be able to drive around Arrowhead all night. Talk to me, Goose.
This is an interesting one because I was talking to people on Twitter earlier. I was jokingly saying, first to 55 wins the game because that might end up what it is. But I'm someone who's not sold on the Buffalo Bills defense being as good as it is, and the game plan I think Spags can have, because like we've talked about, they don't necessarily change offensively what they're showing you. It can play to what the Chiefs want to do if they can find a way to activate Willie Gay. If Ward plays, if Frank Clark plays, you notice there's a lot of ifs here because there's a lot of things up in the air for this week. There could be more of what we saw the last two games. They looked uncomfortable playing the Chiefs defense for whatever it is. So they might be able to figure some things out to just slow them down. But I'm not going to tell you that's going to happen because I can't say that.
I'm really interested to see if it's up to me and you still don't have Ward back. Hughes can travel. I put L'Jarius on Diggs all night long, and I see what happens.
I was saying that against Smith. I would have put Snead on Smith all game.
Yeah. I mean, and if they do that and they force them to run, the Chiefs offense will gain the advantage because while I am not happy with the run defense, they're not the Cleveland Browns. The run game of the Bills isn't going to explode for 5 touchdowns on them. They will grind you up and waste time, but it's not a Hunt and the best back in the league who I just and Chubb. Yes. I just shouldn't say that. I should always put Nick in front of his name just to make sure. Michael, you have a very good point. And especially if you watch the linebackers, that's the problem. They are not attacking holes. They are waiting and reading, and that is why they look the way that they look. Go watch that Gainwell touchdown and watch what Hitch didn't do when he was perfectly capable of taking that play to him. Oh, I'm going to throw stuff if I talk about that anymore.
That's just what they're doing. They're using a lot of motion to confuse. The linebackers can't trust their eyes. I was just watching a play where Nick Bolton got into the A gap where he should have been for the handoff, and he just didn't attack. He just stood there because he doesn't trust his eyes, what his eyes are telling him to do. It's not good.
I'm torn. I'll take all of them in that draft. So thank you for the question.
Yeah.
Mez, would you offer the Jets a 3rd-round pick for Marcus May?
Safety. I mean, no.
I don't think that it's broken. The problem is that they're prioritizing a player to do something he can't do as well. It's not that there's not guys that can play on this defense. It's figuring out why Juan isn't playing. Yeah. And then, to your point, maybe you play Armani a little bit too, but I think Dan's just getting exposed like we've talked about for the last 2 seasons, you guys. I think he's getting older and it's just getting worse when he gets put in the positions to do what he's not capable of doing anymore.
Yeah, teams are seeing it on the field and taking advantage of it. Yeah. Lots of motions.
And I don't like that May that much as a player that I'd go get him myself.
No.
Ms. Holly, thank you for your support as always. And I'm glad, I hope you're liking this, that I'm not putting the whole chat on blast. So I did that for you. Do you think that we'll get to the point of the season where we allow less than 30-ish points on average to our opponents? That's a great question.
Yes, I do.
You do think?
I think that they'll get to that point. Right now, you do have the offense humming. You can, the best part about this team is that now that the offense is going, I think you're going to see less turnovers. What Spags does best is work with leads. He gets teams uncomfortable having to throw the ball more than maybe they want to. Bill's not excluded from this conversation because that's just what they do. But he tries to make the quarterback as confused as possible. When you can just kind of run the ball whenever you want to for the majority of the time that you've seen from these offenses outside of the Eagles, even the Chargers to some degree, they still and they're getting healthy too. They have lots of injuries. They've got key players not playing, and that doesn't help anybody trying to figure some things out. So I do think that he's trying some different things, which is good for this defense. I think they're going to get better because of it. So it's week 5. I know we're all a little frustrated with, specifically for me, the defensive line. It's been very hard to watch, but I do think they're going to get to a point where it's under 30 a game.
Okay. I'm going with you. I'm not going to.
Glad I could talk you into it.
Right? Mez, the only problem is Jamie Collins can't cover either. Jamie Collins is a downhill player at this point. He is forward only. You're either blitzing him or you're putting him out on the edge. which may be helpful, was the point I was making. But he can be worse than Neiman. He cannot move as well.
Yeah. It's not good. He's the worst. He's really bad.
Yeah, it is not pretty. Jake, thank you again as always. Daniel, last night after the game, you said the offense wasn't the problem. How many more turnovers have been given up? Patrick has committed some pretty nasty interceptions. Elaborate, please.
Yeah, so I think that the game against the Chargers was an aberration. Like, the turnovers just came in bunches. They put up 30+ points against the Ravens. Defense got to stop somebody. Again, like, I think that if you're scoring 30 points a game and moving the ball essentially at will on all of your opponents, I don't believe that the offense is ever going to be at fault. Now, if you're every single game you're putting themselves in positions and turning the ball over every single game, that's different. But I think that the 4 turnover game is a complete aberration, and something happened. And Mahomes has had a couple bad interceptions, but again, moving the ball at will. They are now against the Eagles. I think they have a lot of confidence going forward. They've shown that they can do whatever they want to on the ground. They can do whatever they want to through the air. I think that's only going to build their confidence. So that's what I was meaning by the offense isn't the problem, because you can see that they've been able to just move the ball at will.
Yeah. As long as they don't step on themselves, they'll be fine. Hey, Joe. Sláinte.
Boom. I saw this up there and I was about to comment. I'm like, I realize when I say that, I know that I say it a lot, but for some reason my mouth is just like, it just wants to say it. So I do apologize, everyone. I'm probably annoying. So
hey, I have a ton of those. I just try to rotate them is all. Ian, you have a good point. McKinney could do that Ragland role. I don't think he's near as athletic as Reggie is, to tell you the truth, and I just don't think they'll pull the trigger. But guys, I do want to say, because I am seeing it in the chat a little bit, if you would put question marks like Ian did at the beginning of your question, that will help me find you and not skip over you. I am trying to go through here methodically, even though we're pretty far behind, but I'm going to get there. And Joe's actually got one too, so well done, Joe. Predict next year's cornerback room. Ooh, I like that.
Oh, man, that's a tough
Can
one.
I predict it from 2 years ago? Because if they would have listened to me, Trayvon Diggs would be in this room right now. So I don't know, bro.
Diggs is so good. I want you all know, if you follow me on Twitter, I called this breakout this year he's really good. Tomorrow for next year. Ooh, I do think Baker will be here.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hughes will do enough to re-sign.
Okay.
Obviously, Snead's going to be here.
Yep. CB1.
I think Boodle will be here, if I'm being honest. I think Boodle can make it. And then you're going to have, I think, one or two guys, free agent / corner / draft pick. That's what I'm going to have.
I think that Ward will provide a nice comp pick because someone will sign him, and it won't be Kansas City. And I think Andrew Booth ends up on this roster. So go watch Clemson football, you guys. Just keep an eye out. I'm just going to say it now. You're going to hear a lot. You might hear as much about Booth this offseason, this coming one, as you heard about Diggs last time. So be prepared. Kansas Carolina. Is it just me, or is the angle that I'm seeing in the game, it seems like the refs are not calling it when the D linemen line up offsides? I don't know. I didn't notice it myself. Did you, Dan?
Not really. If you go by based off where that blue line is, typically it's not going to be accurate enough for you. If they're looking down the straight line and they're even a smidge behind that football, it's not, even if it touches a little bit, sometimes they're just not going to be offside. So I would say that it might just be the angle you're getting.
Yeah. Okay. Kelsey Hill, Gordon Fortson, Hilaire on spread formation. Juicy.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I like it a lot. Ben, you're back. Thanks,
Ben.
Ben.
Ben?
Appreciate the support. I'm going to see if you have a question right underneath here. I'm sure it'll be pretty quick. Phil, how are you? There was a lot of praise for Noah Gray this preseason, but I haven't heard a thing about him. There was a lot of praise for him because they were force-feeding him the offense, trying to get him as much information. I think it's going to take a little bit. By mid-season, certainly after the bye week, I think you'll start to see him be in on the action as well.
And to that point, they were doing that just in case anything ever happens to Travis Kelce.
Don't say it.
That's why I knocked on wood before I said it, because that's what they're doing.
If Jody Fortson tight end 2 were to get injured, sorry, Blake Bell fans. Adam, thank you. Do you think that we will get Jaron Reed impact on the game? When do you think? I haven't seen him so much. That's a fairly good point. I don't know that it'll be this week because I think that offensive line is going to concentrate on him inside. But I do feel like he pushed more against the Eagles than he had the week before that. And so maybe he's rounding into shape too. I don't know him very well.
Yeah, that's hard to judge him right now. He hasn't been like hugely impactful, but I think he's seeing a lot of doubles on the inside too. That's just more of an opinion. I haven't confirmed any of that, so don't quote me on it. But he does not look like the same player that was in Seattle, much like Frank Clark doesn't look like the same player that was in Seattle. So maybe, just maybe, they're not comfortable in this system.
Maybe John Schneider was right. Who knew?
Yeah, maybe.
Dad, baby, I don't know. I haven't seen Hart projected yet. I don't know anybody that I trust that is telling me when he should go. Dan, do you have any insight? Okay.
No idea.
I got nothing yet. Guys, I have no college all 22 yet. I'm just trying to keep up with the draft show to give you what I am seeing. So believe me, it's quite a transition for me. Fix the secondary. Let Juan play high. Let everybody else play underneath. You can play cover 3 and single highs, and you can do your games. Rotate Armani a little bit, and you got to get Ward back, and then they'll be a lot better off, in my opinion.
If Spaxx wanted to play cover 3,
yeah, I know.
He wants to play cover 2 and rotate to a cover 1. No,
I know.
They need to play more cover 3. They 100% do. Teams are destroying them because they're not playing cover 3, and you can see it.
And it's a seesaw for me. Either play cover 3 and back off and play the deep zones, or get in the guy's face and actually jam him. It's this, I'm going to be in man, but I'm not going to put my hands on a redirect. That's a problem.
When you have corners that are long and physical, that want to do that are best at doing that, and they don't utilize it.
I'm not going to get mad.
You should get mad. It's frustrating.
Not my job. Can someone give DJ a call? Maybe he's coming up training. Yeah, he's doing more media that's telling me he's not available, folks. How do you feel the Bills' defense will do against Mahomes Sunday night? I think you got to know where Trey White is. I think you got to watch that pass rush. Like I think they have some pieces, but I'm not like scared. I would be attacking the linebackers and then the safeties myself.
What they're going to do is what they've been doing. They're going to run the ball a bit more. Maybe to start the game, use more of those RPOs, some play action stuff, and they're going to switch things up. They're going to go 5 wide. They're going to spread this defense out, and Mahomes is going to surgically destroy them because that's what they're doing right now. It's so much fun to watch.
Over under on red-colored Seth Kaiser ties in October and November. He's going to keep the stripe in, I'm pretty sure, so I'll take the over.
That's all I can say, guys. Just bet the over with the ties for Seth. Keep betting it.
Since Seth isn't listening, I'm going to tell you the guys this now. We're going to try the Chief of the North without me on Thursday. Be prepared. It's not going to be as smooth. I'm just going to tell you.
Speaking of, we do have a surprise for you guys on Wednesday. I'm going to go live Wednesday night and do some film breakdown. You know how I usually have my films on Wednesday night as the film room. We're going to go live.
Nope. Keep talking. I was trying to do this.
Okay. We're going to go live, and I'm going to test this restream out for myself. We're going to get some guys in there. You guys can ask questions. We're going to go through film together. You can, break some plays down individually. We won't do as many plays so that we can actually have a conversation. Really kind of like just a Q&A play time kind of thing with some film. So it's going to be fun.
I think it's going to be cool too. I will try to watch. I will, be otherwise engaged.
Yeah, it's going to be a new one for me. I can tell you that much.
Thank you again, William. Why not leave Snead on the outside corner and put Hughes in the slot? He was the best slot corner in Minnesota anyway. I don't know that I agree with that. I thought he was a great slot in college. I thought he got beat up in the slot in the pros, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure he has the confidence to be in there, to tell you the truth.
No, I think he's best is if they let him be a little bit more physical. Like, let him play a bit more physically and give him a little bit more help on the outside. Don't just continuously put him out there on an island. And they don't have corners that are island guys. There aren't many of them left in the NFL.
There aren't many of them left in college either, and that's why.
No.
Let's see here. What's going to take for them to bench Sorensen? Now, Ian, I know you've been on Sorensen all night, and I'm going to tell you this, and I hope that you can hear me. It's never going to happen until he's injured or retires.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. I have no explanation.
And I'm sorry. I know you're going to answer a lot of questions, but as much as Ryan says, I'm with you. I don't want him on this team, but here we are.
And I'm not even that far. I want him on this team. I don't want him playing, split safety high where he has to cover guys. I don't want him taking tight ends in man when Dallas Goedert can run away from you. You can't do that.
No.
Line him up in the box and send him all day long. I have no problem with that. Dan is good at that. Just Just don't ask him to run backwards ever.
Or sideline to sideline. Please, no.
Right? That is it. Let's see. Zach, another one. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate it.
Zach.
One thing that I wish Patrick would do, like Alex did, would be hitting the running back in the flat for an easy 10 yards. Yeah, I can understand that. That's not Patrick's mentality. And quite frankly, if you try to if you saddle him with that, you lose shots downfield, and I'm not willing to exchange that.
But I think you're also seeing him be willing to do it if it presents the opportunity. A couple times this season, we've already seen him do it if he knows that there's nothing going to be there. So I think he's willing, but he also understands that he has the talent to beat coverage even when it's there. So, and you saw it on that RPO to Tyreek Hill where he probably should have handed the ball off, but there's this sliver that he's like, I can hit that.
Right.
And he does.
This is a good one. Jay, thank you for this. Do you think that they'll move Badger down closer to the line of scrimmage this game?
Only if they play one Thornhill High.
Okay.
That's
the only way you can do it, right?
Yeah, literally the only way you can do it.
Let's see. Do you think Wharton should get some looks at DN? Cold Ape, thank you. Dan?
Thank you, Cold. I do not. I don't think he looks particularly stronger than he looks stronger in the preseason than he does right now. I don't see him being able to set the edge properly. It looks like they've had him trim up quite a bit to be more quick on the inside. And I don't necessarily think he's able to hold up right now against the tackle.
Yeah, I'm with you. Do you see any similarities between Jones' pass rush style and how Tamba Hali would rush? Looks like they both have a moderate to good get off, good handwork, and zero bend around the edge. I mean, handwork, I'll get with you. Tamba is noticeably better than where Chris Jones is right now with his hand combat. Tamba had a slight touch of bend, but you could see the difference. Tamba he had the length that Chris doesn't have. I think his arm length was like 2 to 3 inches longer.
Like 37 inches long. The dude had some just tree trunks on his arms.
And he plays with better leverage, quite frankly. Chris gets too high in his pad level, and then that's not close. Anything else?
That's the problem with him playing at defensive end. I don't think he's going to ever break that.
I'm with you. Did I miss anything?
No, you're right. That's exactly what it is.
Okay. Let's see. When Willie's back with full force, who's the odd man out, Bolton or Neiman? Both. They're going to go to the 4-2 nickel, and they're never going to leave it again.
They should.
Unless they play the Titans. They might for the Titans. And then if I know Spaxx, he's going to put Neiman back in. He's going to let Bolton learn, quote unquote.
I'm hoping not, because I think Bolton's better against the run.
I hear you. You'll get no argument from me. 4-6-6-9 in first games in playoffs. Defense improved vastly in the second half per competition level. That's a fair point. Yeah. And hopefully they can continue to do that. They have to. Or good Lord, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, right.
Let's see. Bills have played backup quarterbacks these last 3 weeks. He's not sold. Hey, that's
not
fair.
Wrong.
The other one was Ben Roethlisberger, right? So
he is a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Do you think Mike Daniel will take over the edge when Clark comes back and Chris Jones to the interior? That would be the lineup if they choose to put Chris back inside, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's if they do. I still think that they want to play him a little bit more on the edge, so you'll see more rotation. But I think that if Frank Clark comes back, then Jones will get more run at defensive tackle.
Yeah. Let's see here. How much is Chris Jones' offseason weight loss going to affect the decision to move him back on the inside? It's going to be a rather big factor, I'm guessing.
I think so, because he doesn't look like okay, so I won't say that because of his body he can't play defensive end, because I think that that's not true at all. I think he doesn't understand the hand positioning, and he has zero bend. Like, he cannot bend an edge. He is very much square. I'm going to bull into you and try to move you around and maybe get inside of you with a speed move. Like, he does not have any kind of rip underneath and bend like you see even Mike Dana has. Mike Dana can do that, and Chris Jones cannot do that.
Thank you, Scott. The subscribe button still works. Yes, folks, if you would like and subscribe and hit the thumbs up thing and do the stuff with the business, maybe buy a t-shirt if you want, or hit us with a super chat. We appreciate the support. It helps us do things like this. And actually, before I go any farther, not in the live stream chat, you guys, but leave comments on the actual video.
Yes.
Do you like this format better or the old format? Like, which one do you like watching more? And that'll help me decide that one and who I subscribe to tell you the truth. Good question here. Why isn't Andy using Jerick McKinnon? I have no idea. Do you?
Honestly, I don't know. I think that you should use him a little bit more. Specifically, if you're going to match up with a lot more tight ends too, you can use more running backs. I think they should. The way that they've been able to attack with personnels, like earlier, I posted a couple of clips. They went from spread 5 wide to 3 tight ends, like from back to back. You can use two running backs and use that speed that he gives. I know that Clyde's the best actual back that they have in terms of all-around skill set, but the speed is definitely interesting that he's not using him as much. Maybe he's saving his legs.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I like that. Quick question before this one, because I scrolled past it. Who do you think's the better team right now? Raiders or Broncos? Or Raiders or Chargers was the question.
Oh, Raiders or Chargers? I think the Chargers are a better team. I don't know much about the Raiders, except that they've kind of been lucky.
Like, we did not plan that, anyone. Last year against Buffalo, we saw a lot of 21 personnel with Kelsey lined up with CEH in the backfield split. And CEH ran all over them. Travis paving the way. Yes. Is there a chance that we see some of that more? Possibly, but I don't think it's going to be Travis. I think they're going to let the guys. Burton. Yes, I think they'll use him a little bit more. But quite frankly, I don't think that they have to use the tight end as much. I think they're going to let the 5 who are better at drive blocking pave the way and see what happens.
Okay. If you guys follow Brandon Thorne, you guys follow Duke Manyweather. Oh my gosh, they've already got the all 22. So if you guys are watching this, send it my way.
Brandon, you know how to get a hold of me.
So they're fun guys. They're fun up front.
Thank you, Mez. Appreciate it. I didn't see a question, but I know you'll have another one. Holly, thank you as always. Time for some positivity. Name 5 good things. Could be anything. All right, go. We'll go back and forth. You go first.
Offensive line is incredible.
L'Jarius Sneed is better than he was last year.
You're not wrong. Pick your poison. Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. Still works, guys. No, where'd you figure that out?
This fullback gets 5 yards at a time.
Mike Dan has got clear improvement from last year to this year.
And there's your 5. Thank you, Ms. Holly.
Thank you. That was fun.
Question about the last Chargers games. Was that PI on 4th and an actual PI? Were you guys on able to see the all 22? Yeah. I didn't think it was PI.
There was nothing there. Legitimately nothing there, guys. So phantom call.
Jacob, Willie will help just being able to flow to the ball more. That's really what it is show his athleticism. That's what he's bringing. Maximo, thank you very much. Should the Chiefs fire Spags and hire Rex Ryan? If they move on from Spags, you guys know that I'm a Rex guy. So Rex is not a head coach. I'm not saying you should be a head coach ever again. Rex, I love you. Don't be a head coach anymore. Get your brother and run a defense.
There's 2 things that he can't do: head coach and talk on TV. Come be a defensive coordinator.
Right. He's good at snacks and blitzing defense. That's what he's good at. I mean, honestly, if I'm Clark Hunt, I let Andy do his thing and I go hire Rex and his brother and Vass, and I put them all in a room and see what kind of terminology they come up with.
Confuse the absolute crap out of some offense.
Right. Roger, I called Jody being tight end 2 before the season. It seems like he's locked it up. Do you think that the odds that we see Olivia Vernon also under yards and TDs for Gordon? Okay,
so good call on Jody because he's clearly the tight end 2. I don't think that the odds are very good. I would say 10-90 right now that they're going to bring in somebody off the street, and over under for Gordon. And the way that it looks right now, if he comes out and plays on Sunday, he'll have 13 games left in the season. Extrapolate, I would say he can get to 706 touchdowns.
I'm down with that. I can live with that. I'm not going to argue.
That's about what I got.
I got to see him on the field first, though.
I do too. I'm just going based off of everything we know, which is him running in a straight line, by the way.
Michael, I think that's fair to criticize them being a little overrated because of the quarterbacks they played, except that in terms of their offensive side of the ball, the one thing that can keep them in a game with Mahomes, I think they are the real deal.
Shutting out teams is not easy. Even anybody doing it twice in a season is difficult, and they've done it twice in the first 4 weeks. So, yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah. Ryan, you're absolutely right. They're going to work on it, and I think they can get back to a middling team, defense, that is. You guys mentioned earlier Spags runs a better defense when there's a lead. Do you think that we could elect to receive the opening kick more rather than defer? I don't think so. That's a Reed thing. He wants to double up every time.
It's worked out way more times than it hasn't, and that's exactly how I want it too. I want the ball at halftime, and you guys have noticed how many times they score just before halftime, and they double up on it. It's more often than not. So I think that this definitely works out for them.
Yeah, I agree. Brian, you're right. They targeted Hughes 14 times yesterday versus I think it was 6 to L'Jarius, who was second. So they definitely were going after him. And you guys, I see a lot of questions in here still. I'm not going to be able to get to them all right this second. I'm going to jump down and make sure that I get all the super chats, because anybody who helps us out, I'm definitely going to answer your question, and then I'll try to come back. I don't think Reed is a bust. I think Sorensen will be on the field until he gets hurt, to tell you the truth. Cole, I'm using this. It's called Restream. It's a little bit different. And I still have the StreamYard, and I just wanted to try this out for one to see what you guys thought. So please, guys, if you would leave comments in the section, let us know. Let's see. Southern, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Got Mez, got Southern. Okay. Oh, he's here. The next one's going to be Gooch. We are. I am way behind. Sorry, you guys. Thomas, thank you very much.
Yes,
appreciated.
you.
Per character turning around, waving his hand. Pair character. Okay, that's great. Hey, I think that's how this thing writes out an emoji, to tell you the truth.
I think that might be exactly what that is. Okay. I was like,
well, thank you, Thomas. I appreciate it.
Very
Gooch.
much.
Gooch is back, folks. Gooch, I hope you're well rested and well traveled. I know that you are. Yeah, we're trying it. We don't know if we're going to stick with it, but we're giving it a shot this week while I'm gone and see how it works. And Stevie said, there's his partner. Yes, I like that, folks. If you haven't caught it yet, if you are a member, you can go back and watch all the Roquette Huddles with Stevie and Gooch, and we'll get you some more stuff as we move forward. And let's see, questions. Steve has one. It does take a little while for this to load. I will say that. It is not as snappy as the other one. Who's the most blamed for the sad state of the defense? Andy, Veach, or Spaxx?
Oh, man, it's actually an impossible question, if I'm being very honest with you, because the only way I would actually know is if Spags asked Veach for these specific players. Like if I knew for 100% that Spags was like, I want these guys, and Veach was like, no, you're gonna get these guys. Like you don't really know the players that they want to collect. It's a collective effort right now. They have not enough athletes on defense, and Spags specifically the scheme that he runs. You nowadays in the NFL, you need athletes at linebacker position, and they don't have a lot of them, and that's showing. I think Spags is kind of trying to manipulate his defense a little bit with understanding that, and they can't just sit out in there run dime all game because teams will just run up the middle on them. So right now, I will say, and this is a tough question. Okay, I don't think Spags has the players to execute his defense right now, so I'll put it on Veach.
Okay, I will take the opposite. I think
that's fine.
I agree. He doesn't have it to execute his defense. I think there are adjustments he could make to make it a better defense for what he has to work with right now. But I'll still call it 60-40.
Yeah,
and
it's
no,
so
Andy
close.
has nothing to do with it in my opinion.
Zero. That's why I didn't talk about it, Andy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you. Let's see.
Yeah, everybody drink.
Oh yeah. I'm in. This is iced tea. Sorry. We talked about free agents, Maximo. There's not much out there. Offensive off-season defensive plan, cut and trade, tag and trade, cut Clark, hide Hitch, get rid of Jones. No, and no. I'm not doing any of that other than letting Hitch walk.
And Clark's gone too.
Do they have to cut him, or is that just the end of his contract?
I think he needs to be cut.
Okay, so he does have another year?
I believe so.
Okay. I was not 100% of that. Evidently I missed something here. Yes. Oh, thanks, Gooch. I wanted you to see this, dude.
Oh, hi. I appreciate the highs every time you come in here. It makes me feel good.
No, you were not dreaming, California. They did pull a little bit more power. There was still zone in there, but it wasn't as high a percentage from what I saw. I haven't recorded the whole thing yet, though. Dan, do you have
They're still doing more inside zone. Like that's what they're running more right now, more effectively than anything is inside zone.
Hey, Paddock, how are you? Didn't see Honey Badger have any impact. Did I miss something? I guess that's fair, but only because they went away from him. They targeted Hughes all day. They tried to stay away from Tyrann Mathieu is the read that I had on it.
That, and he's being forced to do more to cover up for a lot of the holes in the Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
If that's when you're forced to do more, you can't be the player that he is. Like you saw early in the Ravens game, he knew where he was needed to be. Like he didn't have to do so much early because the Ravens came out and threw the ball a lot.
Yeah.
And as soon as they went away from that, you could see even on the play action stuff, he couldn't do what he wanted to, what he was needed to do. And so right now, with the way the state of the defense, he's forced to overcome a lot of discrepancies, and it's just not able to do much.
Canadian Chief, I'm with you. Thank you. This one, Nate, I think that they will eventually. I don't know what they're saving it for, but I said that all last year too, and they never did. So what do I
give him some wheel routes? It's something, man.
Yeah. Mike Daniel, Florio said he talked to Patrick about Gordon, said he looks great, and Mahomes was lighting up talking about it. Yeah, everybody's been really, really positive. If you missed Locked On Chiefs yesterday, Matt and I talked about it after the game, and Matt was actually holding back a little bit. He said they're nearly raving about him between all the offensive minds. So that's a pretty good sign, you guys.
Yeah, like just do what you can to keep the lid on.
Oh, another hi, Dan.
Oh, hi.
Okay. We knew you were here,
everybody.
though, Stevie. Thank you, Stevie.
I appreciate it. You make me feel good.
Is it possible to have a balanced team, offensive and defensively? It seems that if you have a high-powered offense, coaches don't want the defense beating them up during practice. I don't think that's what it is at all. I think it's the salary cap that if you put your money in the offense, your defense just doesn't have the talent to be as good.
Yeah, it's not wrong. It will change in the coming seasons.
Oh, I guess we're super chatting Dan. Hi. Okay,
hi,
great. Yeah, that's
make me feel very loved. I hope you guys come here on Wednesday and make me feel this loved.
Yeah, I think that's going to be super cool. You are doing film with everybody, right?
Correct. I'll be watching. We'll go over film slowly. Let everybody just kind of ask questions, and I'll do my best to answer questions about it.
So, guys, we've been toying with this for a while, and Dan's going to bite the bullet and do it. And so you can be in on the session to do it with him as he goes through the film. I think that's going to be super cool, and I want to know what you guys think, so check that out. I think we are just about caught up. Oh, Darius, we have one more super chat, and I think I've covered most of the other questions, you guys. I'm not trying to skip you in the chat. I just think we've addressed a lot of the topics here. Oh, wait, this should be fun. Austin, I have a real hang-up when people say I hate a player. I don't hate anyone. I am honest in my evaluations as though I were the GM, whether I wanted to sign a guy or not. That's why I'm not into how they use Sorensen. And you'll notice also that I say I don't like the way that they use him. I don't have any problem with the guy. They're asking him to do things he's not good at doing is a problem.
If you play him in coverage with failing athletic ability as he gets well past 30 in a league that is constantly getting faster, stronger than he is, and you can physically see that as much as his mind knows the defense, his body cannot keep up. That's the problem with Dan Sorensen.
Yeah, it's a range issue. He doesn't corner as well. He can't keep up with even tight ends half the time now, and he can't play deep. So he's a box safety, a true version of a box safety. He should be the guy that they send on pressures, and he's good at that. So I'm perfectly fine with that usage. But it's squeezing him into a role that he's no longer capable of playing. Do you think that Spaxx makes adjustments to get the defense on track, or should they be scouting defensive coordinators? I think the adjustments will be what's in, and Andy will. If Andy gave Sutton as long as he did, he ain't getting rid of Spaxx anytime soon.
Not his best friend. No. They're very good friends.
Yeah, I didn't know that they were that close until like last week. Oh, wait, we already covered this one. Oh, I must have really skipped around here, you guys. I apologize.
Yeah, I think you went a little bit too far.
I'm sorry. Well, there's Darius. That's who I was looking for. Cool.
Oh, there it is.
Thank you, Darius. Is it possible that Thornhill snaps never increase this season? Is it possible? Sure. I don't think that'll happen. Do you, Dan?
No, I think that this week might see more.
Hey, kiddo. So if you guys don't know, we both have families, and sometimes this kind of thing happens. If you're new, like, sub, and hit the bell so you can say hi to the little one. Hi. It's good. Here's the thing: is Juan did get a bump. He played 12 more snaps than he did the week before this last week. So I feel like that might be a sign that he's coming on. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I'm hopeful for it. So I can't remember where Jerome is, Clifford, but I'm pretty sure that team says no.
Probably not.
Yeah. I think they're going to invest in him, to tell you the truth. Jack Youngblood played 3 playoff games with a fractured leg for the Rams back in the 70s. Playmakers make play hurt. Can you explain Frank Clark? I have no explanation, Nelson. I've never spoken to the man. If I had any kind of read on it, I would give you an opinion, but I just don't.
No.
And quite frankly, it's a different era. Back then, you were expected to play with broken bones. Like, that's why those guys couldn't walk for years afterwards. So,
yeah, the people are trying to protect the longevity of their quality of life and care more about what they do after football. Back then, it wasn't exactly cared about what happens to you during the game as long as you played the game. And people are much more mindful of what happens during and outside of the game nowadays.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we're going to wrap it up because I'm evidently late for recording the draft show, you guys.
Oh, there it is.
Let's see if there's anything else, though.
Super chats.
Oh, do we? Okay, I'm going to peruse the bottom of that and make sure that I get all of those, and then we will call it a night. I guess I'll say hi to Dan. Well, thank you, Chris.
Again, so much love. I appreciate it.
That's
and
awesome.
Now you guys are expected to do the same thing on Wednesday.
right. Please come back. Oscar, thank you for the super chat. We'd love to see Mahomes use a hard count. He would love to see him use a hard count more because he's really good at it. Do you agree? Yeah, I do. Situationally, that's great, but I think Patrick isn't interested in doing that because he doesn't want the offsides penalty unless it'll get him a first down. He wants to go downtown. That's all he wants.
It's true, but I also think that he loves to use it. He's got probably the second best hard count in the NFL behind Aaron Rodgers, and specifically against different teams, I think you can see him use it more. So maybe it's the team that he scouts.
Stevie, you have a point. Breland was not at his greatest, but I will tell you this. He has the power to go up against Mike Williams, and Hughes does not. That's going to be a matchup for a couple of years. It's going to be a problem.
Yep.
Brian, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Let's see. Was it me or did Niang get beat up by the Eagles? Yeah. Speed hurt him. I was surprised Sweat had enough speed to get around him that quickly, but yeah, it definitely wasn't his best day. That's all right. He's a rookie. I'm good with it. My theory, Veach had to deal with the O-line this offseason, so he couldn't really go into the defense this upcoming offseason. I think he goes heavy on the defense in the draft and in trades. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate the support. Do you agree with him, Dan? Is this like a defensive-centric offseason?
I don't believe so.
No.
I think the offense will always be ahead of everything. And I do think that they're going to, especially if Josh Gordon doesn't end up staying long-term, wide receiver is going to be high on the list of things that they're going to go after.
Gotcha. Did I miss something from Holly? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, I found it, I think.
Okay, talk to me, Goose.
Yeah, my name's Gooch apparently now.
Goose, like Top Gun. Come on.
She asked kind of a tangent, but what happened to Katie Sowers? Was she just a temporary intern? I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, Katie Sowers was part of the Bill Walsh internship.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. She was an intern. I remember now.
And that's a very good question. I totally forgot about that. Yeah. It's almost like systemic that when you intern, unless you have a better offer or a team that you prefer, that you generally get signed. Let me check. I don't know if that happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I haven't seen anything, but she could just be maybe not traveling with the team, but still during practices and stuff.
I thought it was also very telling that she went from working with, I think it was O-line in San Francisco. She was working with Tom Melvin in the tight ends this season. And so
that's cool.
I will double check that. She might still be on the roster and we're just not sure. I will double check that and have it for you next time. Unless, Dan, you want to look it up right now while I do this one. Because we do have super chats that we must get. Would it help if you put Sorensen on the TB12 diet? I don't think it's a diet issue, to tell you the truth.
No. I mean, unless that regenerates like athleticism, but Tom Brady can't move either. So
I was going to say, he's not the athlete that I'm trying to emulate here. Let's see. What else do we have? I see questions, but I don't have. I don't know what that was referring to. I missed something. So, California, I agree with you. If they go up tempo, I would like that. So she's not on the Chiefs' current staff roster.
I haven't seen anything. No.
Okay. I thought she did a good job. I thought clearly you saw development by all of the tight ends.
Yes,
So
very much so.
I would say that's confirmation that working with Melvin, especially when Tom Melvin's been the only tight ends coach for the last few years. Honestly, I think since Andy came to town.
Okay, so it looks like it was just through the preseason, and now she's no longer with the team.
Right. That's what that internship is. It is specifically for camp. And usually, quite often, people get re-signed after that, but evidently that didn't happen. I'm not sure. A lot of that happens on how you fit in with the team as well. So I wouldn't say that it's a reflection on her performance either.
Yeah, I don't think so. She'll stick
around.
I
don't know. When I get Jody on the show, I'll ask him. Stevie, thank you again. My Hughes comment in context was in regards to the D needing to be simplified because of miscommunication. This is mostly the same group of guys. Yeah, and that's fair. And outside of being, I think, undersized, I think Hughes looks better so far here than he did in Minnesota. Am I wrong?
No, by like 2 times better than what he was. And that's a pretty good statement. He's getting closer to what he was coming out, but he's still not quite there yet.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, okay, so we're still doing this.
Hi, guys.
Hi, thanks, Mez. That's awesome.
Thank you, Mez.
Let's see. Okay, so I got Stevie's.
All right.
We talked about Holly's. We are caught up, you guys, and that's good because we're only like 10 minutes over, so that's great. Oh, 6 minutes. That's awesome. Okay,
appreciate you guys.
I just want to say thank you to everyone here tonight.
Been awesome.
We got up over 400 for a while, and I know that that's tough when other things are going on, and quite frankly, the team isn't winning as much as you want, but thank you. Thank you for all the support in the super chats, and for whoever started the uptick in the store. Thank you for the t-shirt sales. I appreciate that.
You I'm
going to be gone for a few days. I will try to drop something for you guys every now and then from Paradise. A location undisclosed unless I can show it off. And we will hold down the fort. We have the normal content coming. Dan's in charge around here. Seth will pipe in, and I'll try to do something.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. You guys just make sure to help me out with the questions, and don't take it too hard next Monday when I'm out here by myself and trying to do everything that Ryan does. So take it easy on me.
I'm excited to see how good you do it. and folks, please, if you would, let us know. Do you like this format over the old StreamYard format? And let us know which system you prefer. Leave that in the comments if you'd like. Sub and do the bell if you're new around here. Thank you for your time tonight. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.